Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Hi.
Hello. Sunfall Cycle.
Hello.
What? No. You have to redo that. Jesse,
Where am I?
The souffle
All right, you're right.
circle.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
What
you're
is this?
take that from the top, Jesse. Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sunfall Cycle. Pew, 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 pew. Pew, pew,
I
pew.
like the artistic direction. It's just kind of not in line with our brand.
All right, no, I'll do it again.
Go
I'll do it
ahead
again.
and
I'll do
keep
it
the
again.
cameras rolling, and then we're just gonna do take 3.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to
Yep, that's the one.
There was
Perfect.
a kiss at the end.
We
Yeah.
got it.
That was a smooch at the end.
That's a wrap on Jesse Cox.
We got what we
everybody.
needed. Good job. Was that good? Was that really good? Like, you're not just saying that?
No, we loved it.
You're not just saying, like, it
So
was
good,
good?
Mr. Cox. So good.
You're not going to talk
It
about
was
me when I
really
leave?
good.
You're not going to, when I leave, you're not going to sit here and talk about me?
We're gonna
All right,
talk
well,
about how
thanks,
good you were.
everyone. This is me walking away. La, la, la. I did great.
I love that that's
Hooray.
actually basically what you do when you go to set.
Oh, yeah. No, are you
I was
kidding
like,
me?
you like when you did that, I was like having flashbacks. Like literally, Jesse, when he was on pre show and he left, he was like, "Did I give you everything you need? Do you need any more?
You
Do
don't
want me to
understand.
do-
That
want to
wasn't
hang
a
out? Do you need me to
goof.
stay? Like, what do you need? Like, just let me know if you want me to do something different." I'm like, "You're the greatest talent." I'm like, "No, you're
I
perfect."
fundamentally believe
So
I'm
cute.
trash. So every time anyone's like, good job, I'm like, do you mean that, though? Or are you just Hollywood bullshitting? Because if you're Hollywood bullshitting, I'll get back in there and I'll pound out another 5 minutes. You just tell me what to do. Oh, yeah. And they're just like, no, you're fine. And I'm like, I don't trust none of y'all's.
No.
You can trust me. When I don't get what I want, everyone
fine.
knows.
You're fine.
That's how I felt during my voiceover. I was like, I suck, and Jesse's just telling me what I need to hear.
Yeah, you're great.
No way. No, the things that I was like, we can get Bronson to do this better.
Like,
I would literally be
prove
like, let's try it this way. And you nailed it every time. So, like, I had zero. Yeah, oh, trust me, I would never, ever put you out there and be like, and I purposefully made Bron suck because now I'll have my revenge. Like, never. I would never do that. What a terrible person I
I'm
would be.
tanking my own game so
Yeah.
that bronze looks
For
bad.
what?
No, that's it. Whoa. Obviously, for years of just stringing me along, I'm always just there. I don't fucking know. You know something incelly that I'm sure will,
Always just
something
there.
about, something.
It'll come to us sooner or later.
Yeah, I'll
It's
figure it
just
out
that,
eventually.
it's that gif of David Tennant standing in the rain, except it's Jesse.
No,
my
chat.
God.
You don't get to say the last divorce was hard on Jesse because I heard from the chat that Jesse divorced after my power went out. So you
Whoa,
can't
whoa, whoa,
say
whoa,
that
whoa.
You were
hard
sitting
on
there in the
Jesse.
dark.
Yes,
Literally and
on my
figuratively.
phone. Reading
I'm
chat.
sorry. Can we talk about how the divorce was for bronze? Has anybody asked? No,
Thank
never.
you, Steven.
I
Thank you,
asked.
Steven.
I wanted to know. There's no
So,
power.
how
So I was
was
like,
our-
how'd she
how
take
was
it? Is
our
she like really
divorce
pissed?
for
Is this
you?
like, she like really feeling it this time?
Was it good for you?
Yeah, I wanted to know. I was
do we
like,
need to
were
do
you like
another
into
take?
it? Did
Because
it,
I
like-
can do another take. If this divorce wasn't
Yeah.
good for you,
I was like, should we do it again? Like, give me
I'll
5 more
come
minutes in
back.
the booth and I can make
I'll
this happen.
pound out another 5
Yeah,
minutes.
I was like really concerned. Everyone was like, it was a fine divorce, Jesse. And I was like, was it though? Was it good? Yeah. It's a problem I have. I don't know. What can I say?
Didn't even divorce me via text. Divorced me via chat. This is worse.
That's
Wait,
fine.
Actually, it was
wait.
a power
Was it
outage. I had
was
to
it
wait to
Twitch
go
chat.
Yeah. Jesse never officially divorced me. I just read in chat, oh, Jesse, or wait, what divorce is this? And people were discussing what number.
That's
of the
because we were on a show and
I was
power
like,
went out and you like disappeared. And everyone,
Yeah.
and it was when we were, it was right as we were doing our Marvel like tier list. And then you left and I was like, do I get to just choose now? Do I get to make every choice? And then, I had to be told no, we're going to wait until Bronze gets back. And I was like, oh, fine. So I didn't even get to make my choices. I didn't get to say how bad some of the shows are. Man, story of my life.
I pride myself on robbing you of choices.
You know what?
I mean, that's
what marriage
we're all
is.
on board with how this has to work.
That's what marriage is. Robbing each other of choices.
What?
So romantic.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's all Eric and I spend our days doing is robbing our partners of choices.
Yeah.
We just meet, we scheme about it. Like, what new thing will we come up this week?
This is why divorce is just like another way of saying I love you for Brian and I.
Speaking of,
Divorce is another. That's an album name for somebody.
That's a card. That's a Hallmark
That's
card.
a
I
country
love
song.
Yeah.
And divorce is just another way to say I love you.
but it's Eric's birthday.
What?
Yesterday.
Happy birthday, Eric.
Happy birthday.
Top of the birthday to you.
Happy
Top of the
Keep
birthday.
the rest of the birthday for yourself.
Top of the birthday.
Hello,
to
everyone.
Yeah.
I tweeted him that and immediately felt like I was banned from Ireland.
you. You're on a registry now. There's definitely a list when you land. They're like,
Yeah.
2021. Look at this right here. It says, sorry.
Can you explain? You're
You
at
think
the
she's at the
immigration. Can
top
you
of the
explain
ban
this
list?
tweet and they just print it out and slide it to you.
Yeah. It's probably like in a leather bound folder. Like they open it up. There's a single sheet of paper in there with your tweet just like printed on it. Yep.
Wow.
Well, happy birthday. I'm excited that, you're another year older, another year looking fabulous. I don't know. How's it feel to be 24, I'm guessing?
Add 7. Yeah.
All right. 24 and 7 months old. How does it feel? That doesn't make any sense for birthday. 24 and 7 months.
You're 24 and 7
my
months
bones
birthday.
hurt every time I wake up.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
my eyes are getting worse.
30s are
Okay, more
dope, dude.
curmudgeon.
I don't know what anyone's talking about. I love
Look.
being in my 30s. This is the best time of
My
my life.
30s, best time of my life. You're out of
Best
your minds.
time.
Best time.
Best time. I'm having a great time. I still can
missing
go
out.
do fun things, but I don't feel like I have to go get blackout drunk till like 4 o'clock in the morning to socialize with people I like. Like they actually will just go to dinners with me and then we all leave at 10 to go
But
to
I'll
bed.
still do it.
Great.
I'll still do it. No one can tell me I can't do it. What am I gonna do?
I'll
What
do
I
it.
gotta do?
I
Go
did-
to school like an idiot? No. No, I'm good. What I gotta do? A test? No, that's what all the teens and 20s are for. All that garbage, and then
Test.
like struggling to find a job. That's garbage too.
You still get dreams where you panically think that you forgot to take a final at some point and like you never
Oh yeah,
graduated or-
I still get those. I get
Really?
dreams where like I don't know.
What happened
like,
to that class? I don't remember. Yeah.
I 100% skipped more classes in college than I should have.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And like for some, and it wasn't like just a random sampling of classes. It was like this class I don't like. I skip it way too much. And so I definitely have dreams where like I'm taking some like philosophy class or history class. And I get there and there's like a test. This is super, super cliche, right? There's a test today. And I'm like, oh shit, a test. And they're like, yeah, it's the final. And I'm like, oh shit, I skipped every single class from this class that I'm in. And now I have to take this test.
That was most of my college career was, but I purposefully at the beginning when you would register for classes, I would find classes that I knew I could destroy and then would just be like, and I'm taking that one. And then I would do like, I'm there day one, I have the syllabus, and like, yeah, no, I've read that, I know what that is. Okay, see you at the test, and would never come back. And then I'd go into the test and be like, let's do this shit. Yeah, college, high school, I sucked at. Let me just tell you, terrible high school student, one of the worst. College,
That's
and
what I
then
regret.
and then like grad school.
That would have this
I
is
was
the
amazing.
that would have been the strat for me because instead what I did, I still ended up going for 4 years, but I had a bunch of like AP credits. I should have just never sent off for those credits. I should have just taken all those classes again and just fucking mowed just like scrolled
Yep.
through like my first 2
Aced
years.
it.
Yeah,
The craziest
That's
thing I ever did
okay,
was take.
kids, pro
that's
strat.
the trick.
Pro
That's the
strat.
pro strat.
Don't use your AP credits to place out of taking those classes in college.
Yeah.
Take those classes. don't go to any of the classes, and then ace all the tests.
Well, I'm gonna say don't do that.
Would be really
Pro
cool,
strat.
and then
Pro
be
strat.
everyone's study friend because you already know the material.
Yeah, don't do
and
it.
then
Instead,
like all of a sudden you just get all this popularity. Yeah, it's the way to go.
Instead, the real
that's way to do it.
solution is you should be like me. You should double major like me, where
you only just a double major
double major and
from a triple major
and a graduate
minor.
and a graduate degree. So all I'm gonna say is double major, but don't do anything good. Major in history and theater, like all smarties. And so when you should be in your history classes, you're in your theater classes, and in your theater classes, they're like, today we're going to experience eating a lemon without
Theater classes in college,
eating
though, they
a
were so
lemon.
much fun.
Theater classes in college were a cesspool of like people trying to bone down. That was it.
I don't know. There were a lot of people trying to sleep with each other in my theater.
Yeah,
class.
there's
But
very.
I really liked the play, like the ones where we did the play analysis. And then I took a costume design class, and I just spent all this time sewing in the studio, and it was so much fun.
I will never forget as long as I live. And I don't know if I've told you this before, but it's my favorite college memory because it's absolutely true. One day during class, the assignment was, this is acting.
Okay, I was like, ask out.
Acting.
Okay.
The assignment was,
What level were you? Was it early level or advanced?
for a while, I was a bachelor's of fine arts until I was like, nah, I don't have time for all the plays and stuff. So I just got a BA, but I could have been a BFA in theater. So watch out. So that's like where you were like in it. You're like, I'm on stage and I'm fucking dancing, right? So I was like, nah, I'm all right. And one of the assignments was, all right, come to class. There will be a bed and a phone. You must reenact a moment you received a phone call that changed your life. I have never received a phone call that's changed my life. Not once. I've been told in person. Like, I've never received a phone call of things. And so, and this is what? 18, 19-year-old Jesse. So already I don't have much life to like have a crazy phone call for. So I sit down on the bed and proceed to spend the next 8 minutes bullshitting a conversation about like a terrible car crash. And like there I was alone in my room, and I just made up a whole, and literally the teacher's like,
Oh yeah.
and I was like, I lied to all y'all. And then afterwards,
That's
like,
acting.
yeah,
And that's how I got into Juilliard.
and then afterwards, the teacher pulled me aside and
Thank
started
you,
talking to me, and we're having a conversation, and she was just like, you know what, like there's just so much going on with you, and I would love to tap into it, but Jesse, she like grabbed my face like, Jesse, you wear too many masks. I
Oh
was
my
like,
god.
what does that mean? She's like, I need to see the real you. I know when you're up on stage, you're protecting something inside you, and you need to take your masks off. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? I was so weirded out. And I always remember that thing of like, you wear too many masks. And here's the thing. I'd like to think I'm like Batman, and that I'm pretending to be Jesse Cox, but underneath is like a cooler dude. Like, right? There's someone underneath, like a superhero, but the Jesse Cox thing is just a facade. I'm like Batman, where he's Batman, but pretending to be Bruce Wayne.
I thought
You wear
Jesse
too many
Cox was your
masks,
superhero persona.
Right? Well, it was weird because at the time I was in a superhero costume and I had a mask on. So, like, you know.
You know, though, that
Oh, so
was,
you're
like,
Mask Man.
something I've always hated about a lot of like acting teachers. Because
Yes.
I did theater in high school as well. Granted, I did it in India, which is a little bit different, but there's always this idea of like, well, you have to have range. You have to be able to tap into any emotion at any time. And here's the thing. That's just not fucking true. You have to be good at playing. You have to, like, even if you only do 3 roles, you have to knock them out of the park.
Sure.
Is the thing, right?
Yeah.
So like there's 2 types of singers. There's the type of singers that have big voices and can do everything. And then there's Janet fucking Jackson, right?
Yeah.
Who knows her own voice so well that maybe she can't sing every song. But when she sings songs that are written for her, she fucking nails them. And she nails them every time. And the thing is like everybody wants to be Leonardo DiCaprio. But when it comes to acting, that's not necessarily your lane. You can be Jeff Goldblum. Does Jeff Goldblum fit into every role? No.
Tom Cruise.
In fact, I would hazard to say
Yeah.
that he kind of plays himself in every movie. But here's
And
the
it's
thing.
so good.
He does it with so much grace and so much aplomb that when he is needed, there is not another tool you can use from the toolkit for this job. Like, he's perfect. And here's the thing. I'm a fan of him since The Fly, okay? When he is needed, and that's what he shines in that role, and that's where he is, right? So I just hate that everybody acts like, oh, well, you have to be able to do everything. It's the range. Listen, you got to do your thing well. And then you've got to figure out how to market your thing well. And then maybe those roles don't exist. So then you have to learn how to write. So you can write the part that you're going to shine in. Because something that people do not realize about Sylvester Stallone didn't blow up until his 30s, and he wrote Rocky. That's the part that I think people fucking forget about. His role in Hollywood did not exist until he wrote the script for Rocky. Literally wrote it himself, and then they offered to buy it from him. This dude was so fucking poor, he had to sell his dog to fucking afford food, okay? And they asked him to buy the script and not cast him. He turned it down because he insisted that he fucking be cast in the role. He turned it down even though he was fucking poor. And it came through. He fucking changed his entire life. And the first thing he did when he got his money back was go and track down the guy he sold his dog to and buy his dog back.
Wow, what a legend.
So when people look at like dudes like that blew up and they're like, oh, well, he's just a great actor. That's never enough. That's not enough. He literally had to write the role that he blew up from, because not every actor is going to shine in every role. And typically you have to fucking make your own shit. Like, same thing with Mindy Kaling. Like, you half the time you have to like write your own shit. So this entire idea of like, we're wearing masks. Well, maybe this is the mask that I think I fit in. And maybe this is the mask I want to fucking market. Not everyone needs to be Meryl Streep, you know?
Not everyone can be Don Cheadle. That man is a fucking artist. That dude has range. But you can't, not everyone's going to be Don. You can't go to college and become Don Cheadle. It doesn't happen.
Yeah. Like,
sorry.
It's about your.
So you're saying you should be realistic. Teachers should be realistic in college with all of their theaters.
But they're not. No,
students.
Teachers in college are not realistic.
I think there's a reason for that.
Yeah, one of my professors that we all looked up to, that we thought was an amazing professor, was famous because he got paid $15,000 to be in a Burger King commercial and bought a car with it. And we were like, oh, whoa, yeah,
winning.
Yeah, he was like, this year I was in a Burger King commercial. We were like, you're still getting work? Oh, he's like, I always get work.
I always
Stanislavski,
get work.
Meisner. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. We were so like, we were in New York and we were like, this guy is
burger.
famous. Yeah. Oh yeah. Garbage.
Girl, look at that burger. Girl, look at that burger.
Girl, look at that burger.
I eat out.
I eat out. I eat out. I eat out.
We just wrote a Burger King commercial.
I want to suggest
Good
to my
God.
drama teachers. I think they would be great at teaching
That
acting
was-
to high schoolers.
That was some channeling some Brian Blessed right there.
Have you ever seen
I
that Saturday Night
loved it.
Live skit that's about the Totino's pizza rolls? Where
No, what? There's a Saturday
I
Night
don't
Live
watch.
skit about that?
Oh my
Yes.
God, where it's literally just
Yes.
like, how dare you? Like, it is one of the
Yes.
funniest overacting things I've ever seen. I'm
Yeah.
just like, that's a good goof right there. Yeah, I love when people do that, when they're just like, all right, give us like 5 takes. And they just like go to like every spectrum. It isn't like 5 takes for like looking for nuance. It's like, hello? How are you? Hello? How are you? And you're just like, all right, Tom, we need like consistency. Hello? How are you? Hello? How are you? Yeah, I love it. Acting. It's lovely.
But here's the thing. Sometimes that connects with someone. There's like a really good episode of Fraiser where there's like their acting teacher from, I think it's high school or college, that they have so much respect for.
I
He's,
love
like,
that you love
a great
Frasier, by the way.
actor.
I love that about you.
And there's like they track him down because they're like, what if we did a production of like King Lear or something like that? We have to get this guy. So they track him down and they find him at a convention at like Comic-Con signing autographs because he got cast in like a huge, like basically Star Trek as like a little android or something like that. And they're like, we have to save him from this like sad and trite existence where he's just signing autographs for fanboys and return him to his rightful home on the stage. So Fraiser dumps all this fucking money. They invite all their highfalutin friends to do this production of King Lear, and then they're doing the dress rehearsal. And the dude legit talks like this, like, behold! And he does that. Line. What is this I see? And they're like, oh my God, he's fucking horrible. Like, is he out of practice? So they're like, let's go dig up his old stuff from his acting clinics he did when we were in high school and show it to him so he remembers like how he used to act. They dig up the old videos and he was just as bad back then. Except they were kids.
Yeah.
And didn't know.
So they thought it was fine. Yes.
And that is the quintessential, like, a high school / college acting experience, theater experience, because you will sit there and think, oh man, she ate that. Like, what an amazing actor. And then like everybody else in the audience, you're like, why wouldn't anybody love this play? Like, he won an Oscar, was so good at this. But your parents know, like, oh wow, this is
the art of biting your tongue and smiling.
That's also like,
I don't.
Is that on your soundboard?
I just got it on there right now.
Yeah.
you don't.
Trying to get my production flow as like short as possible. I mean, that was like 2 minutes.
Oh
Like a pit crew.
God.
I'm getting better and better. Eat out.
I don't know. There's something so beautiful to me about that, like, just community theater style level of acting. Like, I did community theater when I was in college, like over the summer, and it was some of the most fun I've ever had, and everyone was terrible.
So like I read something recently that was like,
it was awesome.
It was like, look, it is not just okay to be bad. It is encouraged and good to be bad, and you should go be bad more.
Mm-hmm.
Because like it used to be, you know, that the music you would listen to would be music that you and your friends were playing together because like that was what you had access to. And like none of you were professional musicians, but you know, it was just like about enjoying the thing and doing it together and having like a fun experience. And nowadays you have so much exposure to high level professional acting or art or music or, you know, everything that like, to a certain extent, if you let that define for your brain what your efforts are supposed to look like, then you'll just feel like you come up short and you won't get the enjoyment out of it. So giving yourself permission to just, I'm not even going to try to be good at this. I'm just going to be bad at this because I enjoy it. And maybe like do it with some people in my spare time. Like that's, people need the push to do that. They need permission to do that. So I give you all permission to go be bad at things. Go be bad and,
well, thank
and have
God.
fun.
I've been being bad at stuff without permission, and it was really nerve-wracking.
I never
Right?
like
Oh, man.
realized the pressure to like be good at things, especially publicly, until I came here. Because like in India, well, in Punjab specifically.
And I thought you meant the Sunfall Cycle, and I was like, what?
No. We have.
I
We
thought
have
it was
these
bad to
things
be bad
called-
next time at you, Steven.
We have these things called like buliya and gidda, which is like, we don't even write them down, which somebody should write them down before we lose them all. But they're basically like hundreds of years old songs. And so before weddings and stuff like that, we'll like gather in a circle and like people take turns singing like basically these 3 couplets, I guess is what you would call. And then there's like people in the middle who dance and like know all the lyrics. And these are not pop songs. They're like small poems that are like only a couple of lines long. Most of them are about farming and about husbands that suck because they're written by women for like from 300 years ago.
I didn't know Jesse was alive 300 years ago.
Right? Yeah.
I was old when this world was young, my friend. I've seen ages pass.
Yeah. What they'll do is they'll even like dress up like they'll grab like their sash and like tie it around their head like a turban and like role play being like the shitty husband and the fed up wife and stuff like that. And I didn't realize like when the old ladies and the aunties and everybody would get together and do this, half of them can't fucking sing, but it doesn't matter because they were the most respected ones because they knew the most. They would like where somebody like me might know 12 of these little poems. My grandma knew like 1,200. You know what I mean? So
they knew the memes.
Yeah, they knew all of the freaking ancient
the dank memes.
Yeah,
the super dank memes.
And I came here, and the first time I went to karaoke, and like a girl I was with from college like killed it. I was like, oh, you guys sing and you're good at it. Like we sing and we're not good.
You have to know what somebody just invited me to karaoke, and I was like, are you a group that sings well, or are you a group that has fun?
Yeah,
right?
There's differences. Yeah,
I am not gonna go sit around and watch 8 people in LA show me how good they are at singing for fucking 3 hours while I drink, and then I have to sit there.
Look at that burger.
I'm not doing it unless everybody sucks and they're ready to have a good time. I'm not going.
That is.
If I wanted to hear good singers, I'd go to the fucking Hollywood Bowl.
Bless. That is every time I've gone karaokeing in LA.
So
there's like 3 or 4 people in the group who are
why
like,
do they do this here?
This song's by a band you never heard of. I'm about to fucking murder it right now. And they're like, yeah, and you're just like, I'll be at the arcade.
I was gonna do some share, but I don't feel like it's gonna be.
Are you kidding?
So I'm not gonna do it.
Britt, are you kidding me? Are we about to do it?
Yeah, I think we need to go.
And do you believe in love after love? Are we about to do the whole thing? Because I can nail it. Oh, do you believe? I can do a whole thing. Like, I'm ready.
Feel something inside me say.
Yes.
Yeah. See?
Why are we about to have the best time? All I'm saying is, you're right, Bronze. I love people who can't sing well, and I won't. You know, I will say, I'm not a big fan of like, you know, the church, but the church is where people go to sing proudly and not well. I've spent many years of my life with like my grandmothers and my parents and like every little old lady, and they do that like, oh, they sing high as hell, and it's like way off pitch, but they're as loud as they can be because it's like God about to hear this. Oh yeah.
How true thou art.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Praise to the living God. Something and the blood.
I had ladies like that behind me a few weeks ago when we were at the bowl, and we didn't stand up for the fucking flag song or whatever, and they got really mad.
The flag song. Millennials.
Yeah. Like that's the shit, man.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Yes.
All right. This is not
like,
non-sarcator. Hold on. Okay.
Like so loud. I was like, I'm not gonna stand up.
No.
The louder you sing,
You've ruined it for me.
Yeah.
Okay,
now I really don't want to do it.
This is weird Eric nerd fact that, like, let's go back to the Dark Ages when you live in like a mud hovel, you know, in England.
Are
it's
we
all
serfs
misty
at this
terrible.
point?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
It's
hold on
you're
really quickly
absolutely
for the
terrible.
scenario.
You're just
Am I a
growing your
serf?
cabbages, living your life, you know, and then every Sunday you get to go to this stone building with like beautiful stained glass and acoustics that are designed to reverberate with candles that smell good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rather than sharing your house with 2 other families. And it's like, oh my God.
Look, I mean, I understand the power of religion when you're like,
It's crazy.
your life sucks balls, and they're just like, but that's fine. Work for the king, and when you're dead, you'll be fine. Like, what? You know, that's I always love like medieval religion.
Speaking, okay.
Medieval religion is my favorite part, where it's like,
there's another one.
Yeah,
Look for the king, and when you're dead, it'll be fine.
Sell you on this other world.
Yeah, look, certainly, as I whip you and beat you, you will feel pain, but there will be no pain when you're dead. Like that shit, that's terrible. Whatever. But then, great acoustics. All right, Steven, I'm gonna just hand this to you and shut up. Lead us in not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
But deliver us from
I'm
this
just
conversation.
reading, like Jesse's asking
Our
Steven to take
my
control.
sweet,
Steven's
beautiful
fucking
Slanesh.
typing the fucking lyrics to the thong song, but replacing the.
No, it's the flag song.
I know. I
Let
just think
me
it's funny that
see
you're like
that
doing
flag.
that.
I
while
don't
Jesse's
like-
all right, let's hand it over to the responsible man.
This
here.
is not how you write a song, though.
Flag.
There's no way the lyric to any song should be "Let me see that flag for fly, 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 fly." Is your lyric? That's a shit lyric.
Yeah,
Steven.
yes. It's the flag song
Flag,
instead of
flag, flag,
come
flag.
on. Obviously, if you're singing the thong song and replacing it with flag, you have to replace the word thong.
Can I tell
With
you? I
the
just
word
want to.
flag.
I just want to let you know, we are 1 degree. I can make a phone call now and get a hold of Cisco. We are 1 degree of
Get
separation
him on
away.
the show,
We are. I can make. You know Cisco streams. I'm just putting it out there.
dude. Invite him
does
to
he
come
wanna
do
play
a
D&D?
What are
guest
you doing on this
spot
channel?
on
Why
the
have we
Sunfall
gotten
Cycle.
Cisco playing the Sunfall Cycle? What the hell
I can make
is
a
wrong
phone
with you?
call and get in touch with the dude who could be like, "Yeah, I'll get you Cisco." I'm like very close to make it. Like that
Okay.
could happen.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right.
I
And
think.
then his name could be Thongorandrim.
I just don't know how. I'd be really awkward because I'd be like, only
Which is
all
the
I know is
nerdiest
Thong
reference
Song
I can
and
think
Wild
of.
Wild West. That's it. But like Wild Wild West slaps. That song is a jam.
It's true.
You mean the one that just like rips off Superstitious?
Yeah, but it's Cisco and Will Smith. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, bing, bing,
The
bing, bing,
Cisco
bing, bing, bing.
cycle.
Yeah.
All I remember is the Wild
Y'all are
Wild
good
West.
people.
We are walking in the Wild Wild West.
I appreciate y'all.
We're going straight. No, no,
Yeah,
no,
the Wild
I
Wild
can't. I
West.
can't do that.
Are we?
Names.
Wait, do we like that
how's it
song
go?
now?
It is
do
a
we
song
like
that
that
you-
song? We
That you love
we
to love.
love, love that song.
Yeah. Wow Wow West, Jim Rest,
Wiki wiki wow wow.
Desperado,
Yeah.
Rough Rider.
No, you don't want nada.
No, you don't want nada.
That's all I remember.
Running the 6 gun in this. Oh, come on. We can do the
Oh
whole.
shit!
We can do the whole
Wow,
song.
Jesse.
Look,
I know
man,
that. And look, there was a time period in my life, a good year, where it was like Will Smith could do no wrong. He was in every movie that rocked. He made every song that was amazing.
Miami.
Oh my God, yeah. Come on.
Oh,
There was
I
a-
had the Getting Jiggy With It CD that I used
Oh,
to
Getting
carry
Jiggy.
to my bedroom to my dad's bar so I could listen to the whole album.
No, no, no,
including
no, no,
all-
no.
I made him not ever skip through the song so I could listen to the transition.
I'm just saying. Will Smith, there was a time where he
I
was
love
like,
Will Smith.
Here's
Yeah.
the thing. I've just realized I have a lack of something in my life, and it's Steven performing at Ren fairs.
Yeah.
Like, but every Will Smith song in his baritone voice.
No, 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 no. Getting jiggy with it.
I
Yeah.
need to have like
With like some bitch with a loop behind him. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he needs like a chorus of women who are like sopranos who are like, no, 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 no.
you need to like really like renaissance it though, like getting jiggy with it, nay nay nay, oh no no no, oh no
Yes,
nay
oh,
nay
we
nay
can
nay
go
no.
full bardcore.
I love bardcore.
And there has to be like, it doesn't have to be a full dance, but there has to be like a very simple like choreography that's going on.
Getting jiggy
Yeah,
with
it's like
it,
a
hey
little square
nonny
dance where
nonny,
there's like
oh,
people
oh,
putting their
oh.
hands together and then parting again and then like exchanging smoldering looks and then yeah.
Right, but they all
Yeah.
have to. There's like a handkerchief between them so they don't touch. Because that's sinful. If they just like,
And the hands
hey
touch.
nonny nonny and a ho ho ho.
Just following the plague distance,
people
social
are
distance
crazy.
guidelines.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like,
Bronze, this is my
Are you
culture,
feeling
okay?
like this is your
That's
first
like-
specific undertime?
crazy. Like, oh, if you put a handkerchief that don't count though. Like,
Space for Jesus.
Yeah.
Do you know about the hole that's cut? You don't even know about the hole cutting? Oh shit. Okay.
Hang on.
glory hole in the handkerchief?
No,
Oh.
I was about to say I was about to go to it's not sex if it's anal, but Britt just went a completely different direction.
don't they do that in some of those cultures? They like
Yes, of course, it's terrible.
Yeah, they're like they get married and the whole idea is that on the wedding night, like they just cut a hole in the sheet because they're not allowed to like touch bodies because the whole point is to get the woman pregnant. It's not for anything like pleasurable to happen for anyone. So they just like cut a hole in the sheet for it to.
Oh no!
Right?
Oh
Am I
no!
crazy? What? When did they?
That's
Literally from
see.
Are we
That's
going
the
to talk about
weirdest
like
shit.
the binding things, where it's like until you get married, we must bind you in a sack?
Oh, that's why it's. I learned about it when I was like studying Judaism. When I was like last year, I was going to my conversion classes. It's not like it's super orthodox.
They bind you in a sack, so the dude lays next to the woman until they get married, because they all in the same house, but like no funny business. So they wrap them and sew them into a sack. It's a thing, and the dude would lay there, so at least they get to sleep together. But like they couldn't do anything.
One's like in a cocoon.
Yes.
Everybody knows you cannot have sex through clothing.
And then
it wasn't. It's not, you guys. The sheet thing is a joke that I remember vaguely from an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm that Larry David wrote.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Well, my thing's not a joke. White people be doing that.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
colonial
like,
as shit.
still a fucking
Oh yeah.
thing.
They bind each other up.
This was crazy, yo.
Religion do that to people sometimes.
You
But
know?
here's the thing, it was all bullshit because like the
Ew,
thing
soaking. Sorry, I just saw chat.
the thing is literally
Yeah.
just like you and your mother, like if you're the woman, you and your mother are sewing your boyfriend, future husband in this sack, but like just undo the thread. It's not like, you know, it's all BS. It's all like for show to feel like we are very holy in this house. But really, we freaks, nasty freaks. Let
So-
me see that.
But we actually
boom,
horny
boom,
in this
boom,
house.
boom. Yeah.
I wonder how much of that was like actually kind of tongue in cheek and like people ribbing each other and like knowing that like, nah, these people are still going to get it on. This man's just going to take the sack off. But like, we're all going to make fun of them and like make fun of them in the morning. Like, oh, look at, like, oh, still in the sack. Hey, oh, wow.
Honestly,
And- but then like modern society looks back at it and they're like, no, these people sewed each other in a sack so they would never
Yeah.
have sex.
honestly,
true.
it could very
This
well
is
be
where
like
sock
that.
hopping comes from.
Like there is no, if you look historically, there's no difference in like the perviness of people 500 years ago or 1,000 years ago. There's not people
they
just
were
like
us.
Human's gonna human.
I was we watched this really interesting video on Illuminated scripts and they were memes.
Yeah.
They're just middle-aged memes. But what's interesting, Steven, is that would make a lot of sense because coming from a culture that's not like as far removed, we still do that shit. So like I could totally see some being tied into a sack to troll someone because like this is something I apologize to any dudes that come to Indian weddings. We'll steal your shoes. It's like a thing.
Yeah.
The bridal party does all this shit to troll the groom's side of the party. And it literally comes down to like they will steal the groom's shoes from outside the temple because you have to take off your shoes to go inside the temple. Steal his fucking shoes. And you know which ones they are because they're the fanciest ones. Those are the groom's shoes, right? And you have to pay to get them back. So you'll have like the groom standing there in his like wedding finery, barefoot, like fucking pissed, and like a bunch of women laughing, being like, "Pay up, pay us $500."
Why steal the shoes though?
Because then he can't leave. He has no shoes to leave the
Okay,
temple.
okay, yeah, sure.
What is he gonna do?
Because
walk
the doubt,
barefoot?
because if they didn't like the person, they could just leave or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's a way to keep them. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
when my
so many
cousin got
wedding
married-
ceremonies that are about making sure this thing actually happens.
Yeah, there's okay. So this happened recently and created a family drama because my grandma's a little spicy and she said something rude. But my cousin's husband drove my other cousin back from the wedding, which was like, oh, it's like kind of a big honor. And then locked all the doors with child locks, got out of the car with the keys in his hand, and was like, I'm not letting them out until you pay me. Like, we troll the shit out of people. And this is all tradition. There's a ribbon to get into the reception hall. And the bridal side of the family like will not let you in until you pay them. Like they won't give you the scissors to cut the ribbon until you pay them. Now, technically, you could just get your own scissors. You could go under the ribbon, but they don't, right? Because it's like about playing along. And there's a negotiation that happens. This is my first practice in debate. There's like a whole negotiation. You roast each other. There's like a whole like kind of like show where you like roast each other and have this logic battle of the girls being like $3,000 and the dudes being like $3 until you come to some agreement in the middle. And I remember one of my cousins that got married, her husband was from America, and I literally was like $2,000 and he was like, okay, and put it out and put it on the tray, and we were like
Should have started higher.
I can't believe you do it at 2,000. Like,
yeah, he was like, so do I just take the scissors now? I was like, yeah. And there's ornamental scissors. They're like fancy scissors.
Yeah,
so
but like you can't blame a dude.
Sack. It's like a joke.
I'd be the exact same way. I'd be like, I don't want to upset anybody, so here.
I don't want any trouble.
Oh,
yeah,
I'd be
like,
like,
I don't-
I'm gonna be like, oh,
I don't know this
$15 more. Do
culture.
you want
I
more
don't-
than that? Is that enough?
Should I put more down? Yeah.
So true. Like all the interracial marriages in my family are like that. Where like it was some poor white guy that was like, so Jasmine said I have to give her $800. So can we go to an ATM? And like my cousin's being like, no, you're supposed to negotiate down. And they're like, no, I'm just gonna give it to her.
I don't want to be offensive. I don't know what her limits are. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Can I finance this? Is that?
And here's the thing. I felt so bad because you always give them an outrageous rate because that's like the dog and pony show is like trying to talk it down, but then you get some poor American guy that's like $2,000.
Yeah. Okay.
That's because he's probably only been to like fucking white American weddings where everything is a fucking nightmare and all you're trying to do is just get through the day.
Serve 5.
Don't upset the bride or the bridesmaids. They might set the building on fire. Like, there's a fucking, we invented a term in America called bridezilla because of how horrible people are at weddings. No, like they're not gonna go and be like, you know what? I think I'm gonna roll the dice on this. They're just like, listen, keep them like everybody, just stay calm.
Look,
Here's
we
the
just
ring,
got it. We got to
please.
make it through the day.
Please.
Just keep going. Oh my god. Make it till everyone's drunk. I got 3 more hours of this bullshit. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
My
Oh
God.
God.
Yeah, no. The more I think about it, the more I think Steven's right. It was probably just a troll. People used to troll the shit out of each other back in the day.
Yeah.
That's how you.
Well, that was like the only
And
enjoyment
nothing
that you
to
could
do,
have.
Yeah.
You didn't have Twitter.
Yeah. You just troll each other.
That
Steal
reminds
each
me of the
other's shoes and
meme
shit,
about
you know?
how Gravy got named. Do you all know this?
No.
No.
There's a great meme format about this, but it's like Gravy came from the what? Okay, hang on. I need to actually look this up for a second because it came from another word that meant something else. Gravy.
Oh, from the gravy region of France. Otherwise, it's sparkling juice.
No. So the original word was not gravy, but granet, reflecting the term's roots in the old French word for grain, which was cooking sauce, probably drawn from the Latin granum or seed or grain, referring to like the spices in the cooking sauce. And what happened was someone wrote down the word granet, but misspelled the N into a V. And so it was grave. And then that's what took off. And so like there's this meme about like someone, it's like a group chat where someone types gonna make some grave, and then like everybody else in the group chat is like lol grave, and the guy's like, no guys, come on. And like so Theopholonius has changed the chat title to grave. And it's like that 100% is just how shit happened. Like there are like old illustrated manuscripts where there's like a little cat paw, and the monk wrote in like the margins of this like illustrated Bible, like, I hate this creature. He eats better than I do, but God bless him. He keeps my feet warm at night. Now I must go feed him again. I shall return in like a quarter turn of the candle or whatever. And it's just like, people are the same. People are the same forever and ever. It is incorrect to look back at history and evaluate historical people as different somehow, fundamentally different somehow than us. Like if we took a peasant from like the 800s and we dropped them today, when they got over their culture shock, they'd just be like,
horde,
memeing it up.
I just need to state for the record, Benjamin Franklin, notorious for a million wonderful things, giant pervert, massive,
giant pervert,
huge whorehound. Like loved ladies. French court dude was like, I'm banging all the ladies. Dude was like an old asshole.
How about just the colonies?
You're right.
All up and down, dude. Just everyone's moms.
Everyone. I'm just saying.
It
Dude was like 65, hobbling
100%.
along like, let me get my dick out. All I'm saying is nothing is different at all.
There was a baby Franklin in every colony. Like Johnny Appleseed. Just going.
When I was little,
going
I
everywhere.
thought gravy was called gravy because it was kind of a gray color. So thank you,
What?
Stephen, for enlightening. I
kind
didn't
of
think
gray.
that now, but yeah, no, like gravy. And
Oh,
I
so like
didn't
biscuits and
eat
gravy.
it.
Gravy.
I'd hear gravy and then like go on the potatoes and it was gray. So I was like, oh, gravy. Got it.
It's not brown?
Like
There's
brownish
like
gray. Some gravy.
there's different colors. Like the southern style gravy from North Carolina is like
Yeah, no, like
it's
biscuits
like
and
it's
gravy,
like a
gravy
gray
is great
white
for
and
sure.
chunky because there's
That's
like
what,
chunks.
biscuits and gravy. Like
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like
Great.
chunks of sausage in it.
I'm thinking for turkey and like meat.
It's so
Oh no,
good.
turkey,
brown
turkey
gravy.
gravy's brown.
That's a
Southern gravy is so good.
But aren't there a lot of like man, I think I might be wrong, but aren't there like a lot of Italian families that think of like sauce
Their
as
sauce
gravy?
Sauce is gravy.
Yeah, like red sauce.
It is a sauce.
Yeah.
Someone in chat was just talking about like spaghetti with there's an East Coast
Yeah,
thing.
your
where they call
mom's
spaghetti sauce
Sunday's
gravy.
gravy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's like your grandma's Sunday gravy. It's
Like a
what you would
ragu, but it's a
call,
gravy.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what you would call like your
That's how a lot
what's
of
it called?
Indian
It's the
dishes
red
are
sauce.
described too.
Curry.
They'll be like, oh, like a tandoori murga in a tomato gravy,
Mhm.
you know.
Hmm.
And over here, everyone calls it curry. Everything's curry, and we're like, what?
If you were to call it gravy, people would assume just like the problem I had, where I was like, "What do you mean gray?" And I was like, "Oh yeah,
It's
no,
like a
there's a
brown
whole other
sauce.
gravy that's a different gravy that is this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A salty, savory brown sauce.
Yeah.
So many
Fascinating.
words now that we use that don't make sense are usually because of like something weird like that, though. Like I recently figured that out about the big
Yeah.
cheese. Like, oh, he thinks he's the big cheese. That's from British colonialism.
Yeah.
Because we say "kya cheese hai" or yeah, buddy cheese, and it'll be like, oh, like what like cheese is like thing, like oh, like what the fuck is this thing? Or it's kind of our version of like what are those? Ours is like oh, buddy cheese, or like you kya cheese hai, cheese buddy hai must, like we describe stuff as like big cheese or like the thing, right? Like we'll describe hot women like this too, like look at that fucking thing, right?
Look at that big
British
cheese.
thought-
Oh my
look at that,
god.
literally saying cheese. They literally thought we were saying cheese, not Jesus. So when we would say, like buddy cheese, like the big thing, look at him, he's the big thing on campus or whatever, they thought that we were saying big cheese. So that came over here and it's like, oh yeah, he thinks he's the big cheese. But when you think about it, what does that mean? What does it mean for someone to think like what they're a big piece of cheese? That makes no sense.
No, probably. I mean, it probably is like the big
Incredible.
thing, but I feel like it qualifies as Mimi. Where just like Steven was saying with gravy, I
Yeah.
bet there was a bunch of like British dudes who thought it was hilarious. And they
Yeah.
were like, big cheese! And that's like their thing.
And
Right?
they probably started talking to each other like, oh, I think you're the big cheese, mate. No, you're the big cheese,
Yeah,
mate.
yeah.
And then they came back to the, England and were like, oh, he thinks he's the big cheese, Jenny, And then it took off. And everyone,
Isn't it?
he's the big cheese. He's the big cheese. And Indians were like, they can't be talking about buddy cheese because I don't know what they're talking about. Clearly, that's something different.
drunk off their IPAs,
That's amazing.
yelling about big cheese.
My favorite part,
Ruined
ain't it?
They ruined it.
Big cheese, ain't it?
In it.
Oh,
Right.
the
Ain't
big
it?
cheese, ain't it? You
That's
want
my
mine?
impre-
You big cheese.
That's my impression of them.
I love it.
Accurate.
Huge fan.
I like trolling them.
Steven,
Speaking
save
of
us.
trolling,
Yes.
I'm going to make this a segue into the Sunfall Cycle, even
job.
though there are no trolls available.
The
There
Sunfall
is
podcast.
technically. Technically.
There's one, but I don't know how you get there from here.
Yeah, don't you know?
Chat, I retweeted the Granet tweet. The Granet, yeah. So, what happened last time? Y'all chatted with some weird gear children named Amix and Ulix. Amix, a girl child who looks like a ballerina, and Ulix, a boy child who looks like a jester. they told you about the Fulcrum, which is a like a settlement deep in the cogs of Tix. And Sarek, I for detailed these kids, and you realized by Sherlock Holmesing this ballerina that the Fulcrum is running out of precious oil. And the children have mentioned that they have a caretaker in the Fulcrum named SpringCog, who looks exactly like that cool mask that you shared on stream last time. And I think that might be all that we did, because we probably spent the first hour of our show bullshitting about awesome stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
thank God that's never happened before.
And then you like followed the kids down, and you went through like a weird, huge grinding gear like interior space, and just like jumped through it doing super cool superhero moves. And then you got ambushed by a pair of like drill bit centipedes on the other side, and you murdered the shit out of them. You slew them, and you sent the kids running on ahead. So now I think the four of you stand like catching your breath over the corpses of this duo of centipedes. You've got a moment where you're like you're isolated alone, and the kids are off ahead. You're not with them, so you have a second to like catch your breath and figure out what to do from here and what you want to do. So what does that look like?
Yeah, the kids' names, by the way, were Amix and Ulix, and I also have Bop and Slop. I don't remember that referencing.
I don't know what Bop and Slop are, but I haven't named anybody that yet, but not for long.
It's, probably one of the dumb things I've said, but
right.
Bop and Slop is definitely a two-headed cog machine, for sure. Right? Bop and Slop. Or it's like one head and there's another one like in his stomach. Yeah. I'm still not sure what our objective is, because we are attempting to take this thing that we've acquired that we still don't know what it does, this MacGuffin we've got because a dude told us to get it, and then we met these kids because we went the opposite way of out, and now we're further in, and I don't know still what our goal is here. We are just like, all right, I guess we're going.
Yeah,
like, what are we doing?
Look, I want to help these kids at this point. Now I just want to help these kids.
Also,
Originally, we were like, oh, cool. How can we leverage power that we can use against King Asafon? And then all of a sudden, now we're so deep into this. Now it's like, let's just help these kids down below.
I think I saw the fires of hell burning in Aya's eyes last time when she realized that what's his face Klaxon is like an oppressor. And so there might also be some righteous justice, aka revenge, that needs to happen. But that's up to y'all.
I mean,
Okay.
I am down to follow. I just don't know what our I don't know.
Well, I need a short rest, first off.
So,
Okay,
yeah, just imagine these poor kids who've been hunted by lava bears and the
really
drill
bad.
things, and then we're like, okay, we saved your lives twice now, and okay, good luck at the Fulcrum, goodbye. And we just leave. Yeah, oil, whatever, you'll figure it out. I don't think we can do that.
I want to help them. Plus, I just want to see what else is going on in here. I don't want to leave yet.
We're doing a short rest. Cool.
Yeah, cool.
So then maybe we open up as we are finishing up a short rest. I am telling them funny jokes from the Legion that parents wouldn't appreciate being told, to their kids. And there's a hearty chuckle as they come around. He's like, oh, well, we're out of jokes now, and we should probably get going. Aya, how are you doing?
I definitely need a breather. But my brain is also machinating. I must be honest, children. I desire to lay waste to the above ground people.
I long to smash the shit out of the people above ground.
Yeah, I think
Feel in
Amix is like, lay waste. I don't know about that. And Ulix says, yes, smash their gears.
Exactly, Ulix. I put a hand on her shoulder and I'm like, listen, There's going to be a lot of people that tell you what you can and can't do in life, and it's very important to eviscerate those people, to strip them down to their bolts and cogs, and then from those bolts and cogs fashion stronger weapons. This is how we let out our inner turmoil and chaos and grow, not only in stature and power, but also in respect, because that is the only thing tyrants are afraid of, is power.
Where did that come from?
Huh?
What?
She's right.
Okay, awesome. I love it. Yeah, the Ulix, the jester boy, like looks up at you with like stars in his eyes. Which color are his eyes? Let's find out. His emerald eyes just like glisten. And he says, "Yeah." And then he like he's got like that tricorn like three belled jester hat that he's wearing, and he's like, "Yeah," and he like grabs one of his bells and like pulls it over like to the other side. And I don't know if Aya notices this, but certainly to Sarek, it's crystal clear that this kid is trying to like shape his jester bell hat in the shape of Aya's hairstyle.
My hair do be crazy.
Yeah. He just goes, "Yeah, strip him down." And then he says,
I think I might want children now. I say this out loud.
Sarek like makes like a like.
Yeah. They look at you and say, "Should we go to the fulcrum? It's almost dinner time."
What do you guys eat?
Well, there's not a lot, but sometimes there's oil. And then Amix pipes in and she says, yeah, and the cogheart.
The cogheart. Well, lead the way. Legitimately, morbidly curious about how this is going to look. I say to the rest of the party.
Awesome.
There's a fascination here.
Cool. Yeah, they like grab your hands. Ulix grabs Aya's hand and Amix grabs Ankara's hand. She says, this way. And then starts like clanking down the hall, lumbering away. Yeah.
I have this sinking.
Sorry. Yeah, Eric?
I have this sinking feeling that they use oil, but like oil is, if oil is anything like the oil that we use here, it's like dinosaur bones. So it's like they're using up the living compounds of whatever lived on this world from millions of years ago. And it's just a sinking feeling. Obviously, that's just me. Kairos doesn't know about the deep time and tectonic practices of carbon. But
awesome.
That's kind of chilling to think like, oh yeah, we're just living off of the or is this necromancy?
You could probably ask them. They might say something about oil.
Yeah. So about this oil, where do you all get it? Seems very valuable for your community. Worth protecting.
Yeah. Amix says, SpringCog gets it for us. We used to have a river, but it dried up.
An oil river?
Ulix says, yeah, wow. It was the biggest one I've ever seen, but, well, there was something changed in the gears, and then it went away. It went somewhere else. They pump it up from underground, where all the presses are.
Interesting. I look to the group with just a glance at the eyes, being like, oh, we might have to go underground further. It's just a possible warning in the future.
And to be clear, like, I think you have like occasional glimpses out through like there's probably like you're walking along like a curving wall, and there's a chunk of it where like sort of diagonally and then down arcing along the wall and then disappearing, emerging from the ceiling and then disappearing through the floor. There are like little like rectangular holes punched out, almost like windows that you can look out into the outside. And as you're passing it, like some like huge gear like slots teeth into those holes and just like rockets around the outside, and then is passed, and the outside is clear once again, right? And so it's clear that like you're not underground despite having descended quite a distance. In fact, like as far as you can tell, like you're suspended somewhere in the middle of some massive, you know, mechano-cog contraption where everybody is just living in and on and around like endlessly intertwined mechanical structures that are some larger mystery.
Wheels within wheels.
Yeah, totally.
Schemes within schemes.
Yeah. When you look out through these windows, you can see that like the view of the sky is obscured by like layers upon layers upon layers of spokes and wheels and pistons and, you know, like belts and chains and just like all sorts of machinery just layered into the distance that eventually blocks your sight. Yeah, I think Amix and Ulix, you know, they lead you you know, down, around, and through, and like up a ladder, and then like across like a massive chasm that seems to like descend into the nothingness once again. There's like a couple of times that you like have to wait for 5 or 6 minutes until like a doorway, like where there's a wall that's just sliding against the doorway, slides into an opening that you're able to pass through quickly, and then it closes again behind you. Eventually they bring you out. Yeah, I think I imagine like you sort of come out on top of like a long column that's standing vertically. You know, you there's some gear or some like gear shaft that you walk out of the center of, and you're on a long column, and this column is like a spiral cut gear, and it descends probably like 40 or 50 feet down to a butt against a very, very, very large platform gear. And on this platform, which has like a couple of like other sort of like raised sections, you know, sort of abutting it, and other like, you know, it's sort of it's not all uniform, but there's like a cluster of gears that are all rotating slowly enough that like you can tell it takes like 4 days to do like a full rotation or something like that. When you look down, you see that there's like a shanty town set up on top of this gear and its adjacent horizontal surfaces. So there's like lean-tos and trash fires that are like burning and providing just a little bit of light and heat. You see that next, like adjacent to the giant gear that forms the center of the town, there is like a huge shaft that's been carved out. So it's like half hollow. And that is clearly like shined and slick with what must have at one time been like a regular stream of oil flowing down this trough adjacent to this giant gear, but now is it bears the luster of metal that is thoroughly oiled without there actually being any oil in it. It's very clearly been like scraped as clean as it can possibly be. As you come out, Amix and Oleg say, "There, look, the fulcrum." And as you're looking down over, you know, what looks like a very kind of rundown, scrap-built, cobbled together place, you hear like the music of like a Calliope pipe organ just sort of like piping up, and you know, someone goes walking across and carries, I don't know, I mean, maybe there's like a plate of something that looks like coal, right? Like someone's carrying something, you know, in their arms, looking very happy, and you know, carrying it across the way, knocking on a door, the door swings open, someone goes, oh, ha, ha, you know, like embraces them, invites them in. There's like people milling about and wandering around. People of like every, you know, shape and size. There's a massive two-headed ogre-looking guy whose name very obviously has to be Bop and Slop, who I think is probably like shoveling coal out of, you know, some like bin somewhere, something like that. It's like almost like a public kitchen area. There's the walla of a bustling, you know, town center down below you. Right. It just seems very pleasant.
Yeah, I looked it up for reference. A calliope organ is what you hear in Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yeah. Do 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 do.
So like we're in a theme park.
That's what it sounds like.
Enchanting.
I think Ulik says, "All right, let's go. It's goal time." And Amix says, "Wait, it's almost time. They have to see."
Huh?
What do the four of you do?
I'm like, yeah, we have to wait. What are we gonna see? I want to see it.
What are you talking about?
She stops you and says, wait. And then like 3 minutes pass and she's like, wait. Like 3 more minutes pass and Ulix is like, Amix, they'll see it every day.
How long are we waiting exactly here?
And she says, it's almost happening. Look.
What do you mean almost? Okay, I look.
She points up into the sky. And as I've mentioned, there's like all of these interlocking gears and spokes and chains and all sorts of stuff. And all of a sudden, as you're watching, like one of the layers of scenery in front of you, so it's like, you know, 80 feet up or something. There's like some huge gear that's turning on its shaft. That gear just turns in such a way that there's like a big cutout in a portion of it that slides into view. And you can see like another 80 feet beyond that to like a huge chain that like rotates and slides like a large link in the chain so that it's creating a hole just in the perfect line of view all the way through until, as you watch for about 3 minutes, all of the obstructions in the sky above you become clear. And you can see through this lattice work to something in the distance. And there's just this huge golden burning glow.
Can I mean, when you say something, can I eye for detail this to make it not something, but like a thing?
Yeah.
Have
to, like,
better resolution?
Have like, you know, can I like focus on it?
Yeah, totally. Roll a thing. Roll an insight check. Or whatever. Investigation, I think, is what it is.
Say, the way you put that into words was phenomenal.
Roll a thing.
Do you have an advantage on this?
I have steady eyes, so I totally have an investigation advantage.
Nice. Awesome. I was going to say that like you don't really know what it is, but you remember what one of the kids was saying. But no, like you know exactly what this is. So it's obvious to you, Sarek, that all of this machinery must draw power from somewhere. It has to be powered by something. There has to be an impetus causing all of this to move. What you are looking at is the factory, the energy source that generates the motion impetus for the realm of Tix Ox Tix. And it's at that moment that Amix says, the cogheart.
What does this cogheart look like?
It looks like a sun, but it's very obviously like suspended in the sky from like a lattice work of like filigreed gold. It's like a structure that was built and put there, right? What were you gonna say, Eric?
No, I'm into it. No, that's better than what I was thinking of. That's good. I was
that
like
called?
a Tesla coil, like ball lightning thing, but no, I like it's it's more just like an exploding like hydrogen reactor.
Is it a Dyson sphere? Is that what it's called?
I think of
so
like
a Dyson
Comet from
sphere.
Game of
A Dyson
Thrones.
sphere is
You know what I
completely
mean?
enclosed, but this is like This is like as if you took a sun and then you built a like a Dyson sphere around it that's like made out of lace, basically.
Yeah.
If you've ever been to like, I don't know, my only reference for this is going to Granada and Malaga in Spain, where they have the Alhambra, which is like beautifully constructed ancient Muslim architecture.
Yeah.
And the
Morisco.
intricacy of like the windows that are stone carved but like drilled through in patterns to like make, you know, shapes and swirls and whorls in the stone is just phenomenal. If you ever get a chance to go to some place like this, or even to literally the Alhambra in Malaga? No, Granada. If you get a chance to go because it's amazing. That's what this is like. Yes.
Okay. I know. I feel your vibe.
Which one of you is carrying the periapt of peace?
Brit and Kara's. Yeah.
And Kara.
Yeah, because I think I was pressing on it, right? And then I threw it on the ground. And then
That sounds about right. That seems as likely as anything else.
yeah.
And Kara, are you carrying it in your hands? Do you have it in your pack?
I imagine I
leave
put
it back?
in my pack when I
Should
was.
we go pick it back up again?
No, it's in my bag.
Sorry, what did you say?
I said I have it in my pack with me. I would have put it
Awesome.
in there when I was trying to.
You feel a warmth emanating from your pack as you stand basking in the like pure golden glow from the cogheart that is now shining down through all of these intervening layers of gears and illuminating in a beautiful scintillating golden light the plaza of the fulcrum. And from your pack you feel a warm glow and almost like a gentle slow thrumming sound of
Open it. Look at it. What?
glowing with a light that is not the same as, but almost mirrors the light of the cogheart. The periapt of peace bathes your face in a beautifully warm silver light.
I guess I'll pull it out and hold it up. See what happens.
Yeah. I think like Ulix, the jester boy, says, "Ooh, that's pretty." I think that's it. That's like all these kids remark on this.
It's glowing.
It's glowing. I described it as like a football-sized silver D8, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now it's glowing with a silver light. That's quite bright. Like if you were in a dark place, this would provide like bright light to 30 feet and dim light to 30 feet. It's as light as a lantern or a torch, certainly.
I like kind of like pointed out to Sarek and I say, is that thing powering that thing?
Well, that hardly
that
makes
battery?
sense. It's so small and that's so big.
No, the opposite.
It's-
No, do you
It's
think-
asking for something that's called Wi-Fi password.
I know. Steven, is there any like I don't even think we haven't had any time to like investigate this thing at all, really, because I picked it up and then we ran and then we were running more.
Yeah, and when I
So-
investigated it, my rolls were just dog
Yeah,
shit.
I'll
Terrible.
yeah, Steven.
Sark
is there
doesn't
any-
understand what you're talking about.
What can
at
I
all.
roll to like try and understand this, put this all together, doing the math in my
I
head?
think I asked for Arcana from the other two. So if you'd like to,
Tell me what it is, Steven. Tell me who made it, where it came from, and what's its social security number, Steven?
Found the help button.
Awesome. And Kara, as you hold up the periapt of peace, it becomes crystal clear to you that this is, so if the cogheart is the fusion factory that provides the power that causes the clockwork realm of Tixox tick to tick, the periapt of peace and probably other gems like it are like miniature repeaters that absorb the power of the cogheart and then infuse their like surrounding sections with like continued force. So like, because there are so many interlocking gears and, you know, complex machinery in Tixoxtix, you know, one machine at one point in all of the machinery of this world is insufficient. And so whatever created this place also created these like sub coghearts that provide motile input into other locations in the world.
They're like Wi-Fi boosters.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, obviously, this implies to you that the spiralized crankshaft that was abutting the platform that you arrived on has probably had a much harder time moving lately as a consequence of your removal of the periaptive piece, which is desirable to the guy that you first met who looked like Don Quixote, and undesirable to the second guy with the halberd who talked like Bane. And there you go. And I think it's at this point that you hear like from sort of like off behind you, like you're like 5 o'clock, you hear someone say, visitors, well, oh, what is that you have there? Come down to our humble village and I'll take a look at it for you. And I think that's where we should take our 5-minute break.
Okay, see y'all in a sec. I
don't need you, old man. I already know everything.
But Prince beat us.
I'm a minority. When some rando comes up and says, "Oh, come
no way."
my hovel," I'm like,
absolutely not.
Sus.
No, thank you.
All right, we'll see you in a sec. Bye. Whoop. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Sunfall Cycle. Boop. Hi.
We were spilling the coffee and
always talking shit.
Always.
The secret Sunfall Cycle podcast is
the secret one that nobody subscribe on Patreon. You can hear all the horrible
and a lot more necessary.
Spicy. Yeah.
So anyway, you hear a voice from behind you at about the 5 o'clock saying, "Oh, you have quite a treasure there in that Roderick periap."
Yeah.
I like that everyone knew it's a periap except for us. Like everyone knows, like that's a periap. Everyone knows that.
Oh yeah, here it is. They're carrying a periap.
And what is this periap's function?
You turn around and look at the gentleman who is addressing you, and his face is just this lattice work of like intricate machined metal, almost as if he's wearing a mask. But like as he sort of like tilts his face to the side to look at you, you can see like the sides of it are just like grafted straight onto the piston musculature of his neck and the seamless silver dome of the back of his head. Like this actually is his face. I'm sorry, what did you ask? What is the periap?
Yeah, what's its function?
Yeah, he says, well, why don't I tell you all about it as we head down to the fulcrum below. You see, back when the world was first created, and what do we call it? This person? I didn't imagine I'd have to invent a mythology off the top of my head today.
Rookie mistake. What family fucked it up? Or how are they dysfunctional?
What is their symbol?
So he says, well, in simple terms, the periapts are repeaters that echo the beating chime of the cogheart above. And as he gestures up to the heavens, like in the great distance, like one small spoke slides in front of the cogheart and obscures just like a little bit of its light, and then another chain slides into place or like swings over and obscures things, and then as you watch over the course of about 60 seconds, all of the intervening layers of the world of Tick close once again and shut off the light that's bathing this place. He says, look, even now it has regained its power from exposure to the cogheart. And in your hands, and Kara, the periap of peace continues to glow, looking even brighter now for the relative darkness of the world around the fulcrum. So he says, yes, well, come with me. And he starts leading you down the spiral of the shaft that you're standing on. And he says, I can tell that you're not from around here, wanderers, but that's no matter. Here in the fulcrum, we welcome all kinds, though it has been some time since we saw beings like yourselves. Back in the beginning, there was the formless void, and then the cog mother began beating a rhythm. He just sort of taps against himself. And he spins a tale about how this rhythm brought form to the void of chaos. And as the echoes of this beat rippled out through the world, the raw stuff of chaos crystallized. And from, the nothingness of the void, all of the void sort of folded up on itself and into itself in the pulsing time of this beat that the cog mother was creating. And when it finally crystallized and sealed the last of itself into itself, what was left was this glorious, burning sphere of gold, the cogheart. And from this generated all of the motile force and life of the realm of Ticks. By the time you reach the bottom, he has finished telling you the creation myth of the realm of Ticks, and says that there in your hands is, in essence, a very tiny portion of the great cogheart that was carved away from it ages ago as the great work of creation continued. Hey there, Bop and Slop. Bop says, oh, hi, SpringCog, and Slop goes, hi.
So it's a piece of the heart?
He says, well, scholars debate. I am of the branch of scholarship that believes that, yes, literally the periap of peace is a chunk of the cogheart. As you know, not all machinery is made perfect, and sometimes there's a little bit of friction somewhere. Sometimes pieces fall off and have to be repurposed. Now, that's one popular theory. I believe, as we see all around us, and he sort of actually, you can tell he's sort of gesturing not at the realm of Ticks, but actually at the fulcrum, this rundown shanty town. The work of creation is ongoing, and the machine constantly rebuilds and restructures itself. And so I believe that the cogheart realized that it did not require these pieces kept safe within it, and rebuilt itself to take them out and move them out into the world so that they might repeat its goodwill and motile force into their immediate surroundings.
Okay.
Question above board for the team on this one. Maybe so in the other realm, the realm of song and molten gold or whatever it was, that was Quintara was there doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And this realm is created by like, I don't know, what was it? Like they Clock Mother, the All Spark, whatever the hell
The
it was.
Cog Mother.
The Cog Mother. Is that another one of our, like, is this realm the reason why time shifts in our reality? Why we're
I think that was our kind of reason for coming here, is trying to figure out like why, like, is what relation it has. And then as soon as we got here, we basically found out that other people from our world had come here before, but we were not on the schedule. So I think we were trying to figure out, well, who the fuck came here before us? What other organics came here? What did they do here? And what's their relation to the governance here, I guess, in some ways? I
mean, I'm trying to figure out. So the original thing was the queen, right? Or at least a hint of the queen. And like out of character, Sarek's queen, her plan involved what I think was very similar to Melkart's, that whole group, where they were like, F it, let the world die, we'll deal with what's after. And that's not what this thing is. Like, we're trying to save stuff. So this would be another one of the, like, the numerous factions, which is why the queen would want to come here to, like, ruin everything, because she's like, these haters, which is why the other clock people are like, we hate that dude. That other guy sucks. Like, we don't like those people, because they're trying to destroy this plane of existence, because it's like, what keeps the shield up? Question mark? I don't know. I'm literally like looking through the notes we have right now, trying to figure out like if we have any knowledge about this place at all other than how to get here. We literally have like how to go, and that's it. So I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea.
This Clockwork Sun kind of is giving me parallels.
Well, sure, because no matter what, if it's clockwork, if it's a like, imagine a dial on a clock similar to the one we have on our screen. Yeah. Eventually it comes full circle, and just like the clock, we like reset. And so it hits 12 again, and then it's back to 12, and it's back to 12.
That's why I'm wondering, like, and then she said it happens every day. She said, they have to see it. And then this is happening. So, like, I'm curious if the timing aligns with our world resetting every time their sun rises.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know, though.
They also don't know what the periap is. Like, is this something where we have to like put it back, like make it whole again? Like,
but Aya understands Einstein's, methodology, and understands that like because we're here, we cannot have the frame of reference to know whether or not the time scale here is equivalent to ours, because that would be very simple, right? Like.
Yeah, that requires like libraries and telescopes and weird alchemy.
Yes.
We'd have to have a way,
bubbling things that you're writing down notes about.
Yeah, we'd have to have a person on the outside and a person on the inside, and at the same time be like, and sync. Like there's.
Or we'd have to be able to contact another plane.
But wouldn't that be? But planes are like outside space and time, so that would mean the other plane could have an entirely different time. Time scope.
Contact. You can contact the home plane.
I just
have home plane is technically another plane.
The number you.
I'm almost curious, like, because Iramon is aware of the passage of time, and the sun just rose. I'm almost curious if we can call her and ask and be like, "Did the world just reset?"
What was the other? What was the other realm that we could have went to? Is it like some chaos swamp?
No, we had.
It's Tix, and what was the other one?
The other one was the one that we went to before. I was literally just looking at this. Where did I put this damn thing?
No, the Celestial Realm?
Yeah, the celestial plane of music, or.
Yeah, the place we were that was gold and music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's under the planar scope, and what does it do? Hold on, I'll put it on the old.
No. You've got the clockwork world of Tix and the realm of eternal shadow.
Yeah.
Oh,
right. That's right. The realm of eternal shadow was it. I'm looking at it right now. Ooh.
So the thing that I'm trying to figure out is, so remember that spell that was supposed to happen and it got messed up? I think it has something to do with these two planes in some way. Yeah. And I think this is And one of the ways it got messed up is that this in TikTok 6 it created the cycle loop. And I think maybe what happens in the Internal Shadow is that it's just Oblivion world, and so there's like this repeating Oblivion. I don't know. You know, like somehow this spelled like, because it's like over the dead god, it like accidentally schismed into multiverse territory, and like it somehow bled together. I don't know. I'm just trying to like think about maybe how this could have all worked together. And
So the previous, so the one we went to, the previous one we went to, technically would have nothing to do with the plans of these two, because assuming these two are connected to what is keeping the cycle going, the other one was an attempt to like shut it all down, right? Because they were trying to like angel the hell out of it and like create weird gods and stuff. And so that's like a whole different thing. And so we were, all right, I made a wrong assumption, but like, okay.
Okay, so sorry.
Bless you. Bless you again.
Double bless.
Double
bless.
roll 1d4.
Okay.
Bless to kill. Wait. Multi bless.
Bless to kill.
We need
Like
to
a-
study this heart.
Dress to kill, blessed to kill.
I mean, can
I
we do
are you
that?
saying that to what the hell is his name?
Yeah.
Oh, what's his
Man.
name?
Old SpringCog.
Is it SpringCog or Spring Coil?
SpringCog I have written down, but wait, maybe I wrote it down wrong. I
From
have
20
SpringCog written down.
Okay, but I have definitely written from last week Spring Coil in Skullcrawler.
Retconned. His name is Spring Coil.
Okay.
We're using the word cog
That's
too
why
many
I'm
times.
got confused.
Can I?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Spring
I
Coil.
mean, if we can,
Because Spring
if
Coil's
they'll-
the mask guy, right?
Yes, Spring Coil is
Yeah,
the mask
okay.
guy.
Yeah.
if they'll allow us to, I would love to do some sort of, spot something about this. Maybe like uncover something, roll for that to like uncover, decipher clue as to like how it works.
Yeah.
The periapt of peace.
Yeah, I mean, like we know it's a receiver for the big, kind of cool Dyson Sphere Sun, but like, how does that all work? Because truthfully, I don't think any of us know how Wi-Fi works in this universe, right? Like this would be, they're telling us that it receives, like, I don't know. How would we know this?
You can tell that if you want to do this,
Okay.
then you'll need to like sit down somewhere and study this thing for a little while, right? It's not going to be as simple as just like for detailing it here. You're actually going to need like a place of privacy where you can have a moment with this alone.
Question. Can we
Yes.
take this out of this realm?
I don't think you know the answer to that.
That's
Would
what I
it
was wondering.
behoove us to remove it, take it to the moon, and have an actual person study?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Have Leander
I
look
mean,
at
give
it.
me-
As you wonder this to yourself, Amix walks up to Spring Coil, tugs on his hem, and says, "Oh no, wait! It's Ulix, the jester boy, with his like jester hat swept over to one side in like as best an imitation he can make of Aya's hair." He tugs on Spring Coil's hem and he says, Spring Coil, this is Aya. She says we have to go get our enemies naked.
Naked?
Strip them down.
Oh.
We're gonna get them naked, and then he just goes running off. "Ah, strip them down. He just like runs away through the center of town. Spring Coil just looks at you and says, well,
I don't know how that happens, Spring Coil.
I much prefer to do that with my friends, but if you prefer enemies, then
No, didn't say that.
all my blessings to you. Would the four of you care for a meal?
you have burgers?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm not very hungry.
Are there any?
Yeah.
Are there braziers here?
You should
that we
keep
can
your
find,
oil.
You guys, maybe we should look for a brazier so that we can just like go back to the moon and not have to.
I don't.
I guess
I don't
it's
know
not
if the
that hard to
braziers
get
are
here.
on
It
this one.
basically is a brazier just to like turn the thing around, isn't it? Yeah. Well, I mean,
So it strikes you that you haven't seen a brazier.
Hmm.
That the braziers of the sun are specific to a religion that exists in your plane, but not here.
Mhm.
And also, in Kara, as you think about this, you realize you've been here for 2 hours.
does it feel like 2 hours?
Which is longer than
Oh,
100
not
minutes.
we don't get sent back
And you haven't died.
because the sun's not going. Nothing's. Oh, we can stay here as long as we want.
Right, because we're out of time at the moment.
Yeah,
But like,
we're in like a pocket.
could that be because this is the time or whatever? This is the thing controlling the time in our. I don't know.
Spring
I
Coil
feel like
says,
it like has to be. Yeah, let's go eat
Come,
this guy and get
come.
more information from him.
come eat with me, break coal with me. He says, you do like coal, don't you? We've got
Coal?
the very best. And then
We'll
he
sit
just
with
sort of
you.
like, you see his like shoulders raise as he goes, oh, no, don't worry. I know you organics don't eat coal. Oh, Spring Coil's just having a little fun. Come
Oh
with me.
man.
I have some from the last time one of you visited. It was some time ago, but I believe
was
I believe this delicacy may yet remain of interest to you. Oh shit! Who would this have been?
Who came to see you? When did they come? What did they say? What happened?
Tell us everything.
Oh, you organics, you all look alike.
Yeah, he says. First of all, he
Flesh
says,
radbag.
I believe they called this delicacy granola. As he sweeps aside the bead curtain to his hovel, which is like beautiful. It's like there's like different colored like chunks of glass hanging from the ceiling that like reflect the light around from like a effectively an electric candle, right? It's like a beautiful thing. There's like a big table in the center that's like 3 tiers of gears that turn in opposite directions. So like someone can spin like the 2nd tier gear to like spin the 3rd tier gear one direction. And like, there's like, he like places different dishes out and stuff like that. And like, he has some very simple, like, trail bread and granola and, like a pitcher of cold water that he sets out for you all. He sort of shrugs and says, I apologize that it's not much, but you must understand. I don't get visitors like this terribly often.
But you did say you got visitors. So what did they look like? What were their names? Why were they here? Did they take anything from the heart?
So I think he describes to you the visitors. Yeah.
Fucking ear man.
He says I was fortunate enough to be able to welcome a pair of what I believe you would call scientists. One was named Lorix and one was named Canis. The pair of them were I believe they were a bonded pair, and they made a purpose of visiting different realms of the worlds, apparently, and I did not know this prior to encountering them. There are countless untold realms of creation where the beating heart, the rhythm of the cog mother spun other worlds into existence, different from ours.
Can you say those names again, please, sweet man?
Lorix,
This is like full like dying earth energy.
Lorix and Canis,
Okay.
like Canus.
Pure,
Yeah, absolutely.
pure Jack Vance. Yeah.
Yeah. As he continues elaborating and you pepper him with questions, it's clear that none of you have ever heard of these people. You've never heard of people like these people. You have no idea who these people are. They may not even have been from your plane of existence, but they might have been. Like he 100% describes them as looking exactly like the four of you.
Yeah, they're like toga wearing Roman dudes. And
Yeah.
it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but like it's clear that he's had visitors that are just like completely not related to ire or like the current problems with the sun or anything like that. Like he's just had other planar travelers swing on by.
Have you ever had people who are trying to fix the sun come by? Like, I wonder if he's already come up against this problem.
Yeah, he gets quiet and he says, Old Spring Coil hears a lot of things. While Lorex and Canis never spoke of a problem with the sun, you are not the first from whom I have heard of this. You may have noticed the ring of providence that scribes the horizon here in the realm of Tixox. Have you? You might remember that, like when you first arrived, there was like a big gear, like a huge ring, sort of on, rising into the heavens. And he says, the house ascendant of the ring of providence is currently House Arabest, and they hold to their victory, to their ascendance with a fierce nature. They and their enforcers are to be avoided at all costs.
How long has that been going on for?
Yeah.
Sounds pretty bad.
He says, there was at another point in time a house that could have rivaled House Arabest for the seat of ascendancy on the Ring of Providence. Its name was House Kalaka. In fact, the fulcrum is named as such because we sit on the pinnacle, the very peak of the ancestral seat of House Kalaka, which rests deep below us in the depths. It's not wise to descend down there these days, not with the iron wind as it is. But at one point, Kalaka was a bright and beautiful house, parent house of 2 precocious children that I think you may have already met.
Oh, shit. Royal robots.
Well, that's why they got them gems in their eyes. Yeah.
I love this reaction. He says, something happened. It was a visitor from another world, like yourselves, someone important, a queen, I think they said.
Tanith?
Heard this. Tanith. That sounds like a name I have heard, but I get my information third and fourth hand from spies in House Arabest. What I gather is that this person came seeking something valuable. And when she left, something changed, something deep within the realm of Tixox, some structure of the gears was adjusted. And House Arabest began rising into ascendance. And it was about the same time that the iron wind began sweeping up. With all of the gum in the works, with all of the gears slowed down, House Kalaka was left vulnerable. Certain accesses were not closed and certain windows left open. When that wind swept through, there was very few who survived. I don't know what happened, but I think that all of these events, the arrival of the queen and her subsequent departure, the changing of the gears of Tixoxtix, the creation or arrival of the Iron Wind, I'm certain they are related.
I don't know about certain.
Sounds pretty certain.
It's a third or fourth hand? We can't
Um,
be sure.
Steven.
Oh, shit,
Does
Steven.
the Iron Wind, do
Steven.
I get, with my knowledge of Arcana, do I get the sense that this is some kind of spell? Not just a natural phenomenon, which is what I had assumed previously.
Roll Arcana. See what you get. Yeah. So it's not happening right now. As you've emerged into the open air, you can see that the skies are clear and it's not happening right now. So it's not around for you to examine, but your like latent awareness of ley lines and magical energy was quiet when the Iron Wind was sweeping around. It's always possible that a spell created this thing, which is an entity of its own. I think it's definitely, it makes a lot of sense for Aya to hear Spring Coil talking about how this Iron Wind just started one day, a dozen years ago or whatever, but it just began. It had never been seen before. And that it started in coincidence with the arrival and departure of Queen Tanith. And to think like, wait, could this be a spell? As you chase down that line of thought, it's not so much, the Iron Wind is a spell, so much as, some sort of spellcraft maybe went wrong and created the phenomenon that is now the Iron Wind, which is not a spell, but like, if you were to ask, is a skeleton army a spell? The answer is no, but they very well probably were created as a consequence of a spell cast at one point in time. So I think when you have looked at the dust from the Iron Wind, it's like tiny slivers of minuscule springs and cogs and gears that get whipped up into a whirlwind of shredding iron, right? It may be, and I think I even described originally that like when it whipped up, there like was no wind. There was just all of a sudden this like rushing shit flinging through the air.
Dust.
Yeah, spicy dust. And so thinking along the lines of like the way that dead bodies can be reanimated. What if the dead materia of this realm that is entirely clockwork based could be reanimated and filled with some sort of necromantic impetus? These are the paths that your mind is going as based on your 19 Arcana.
Necro weather.
I'm waiting for the revelation.
You gotta figure out what they did here.
I love that.
We need to know like locations. You said you have a network of spies, right? Can you tell us where this delegation from our place went to, or put out word?
He pulls open like a sliding screen on his back window, and he points. And there's like sort of an angle up through the gears and stuff. And he points and you can just see the top of the Ring of Providence. And he says, I chose this house because it offered me a view of that which I should never forget. That some people take what they have and they use it to keep it from others. He points up at the top and he says, up there, House Arabest. That is where the delegation went.
Well, that's
Now-
where we gotta go, team. It looks like we're going to House Arabest. They're not gonna be the best much longer. Not when I'm done with them.
There is, of course, another option.
That doesn't
may
involve
be-
violence.
He sort of chuckles and he says, that doesn't involve nudity.
No, violence. Violent, not nudity. No one said
Holds
anything
out her
about
shotgun.
nudity.
You can tell he's incredibly amused with himself. He says, there's another option that might gain you additional information. House Kalaka had impressive laboratories that now are inaccessible to most. The iron wind below is dangerous. You would have to go at a specific time, probably immediately after the iron wind had fallen. And you would have to battle your way through untold horrors on your way down to the depths. And then you might have to either tackle or find a way to avoid the creature that we call Broke-Tooth.
Okay.
But within the laboratories of House Kalaka, there may be yet more information about what happened. After all, why is it that Arabest would seek to suborn this once great house if they were no threat and had no information?
Okay, here's another question. Do you think we could figure out a way to help with closing up your panels and stuff so that maybe you don't have to live here in this slum?
He shrugs and he says, listen, the Fulcrum, it's not one of the great houses of the realm, but few of us are. The Fulcrum is a nice place. There are nice people here. We have community, family. We make music. The children play. We keep them as safe as we can. And, well, that is, I'm proud to say, safer than many places are. The only thing we really have to worry about is the House Arabest enforcers. And, well, there is the issue of the oil.
I was
But
gonna say, I thought the kids gave me the impression that you're starving, and they almost got eaten by monsters. So
it has been hard. It has been a hard time, but I have a plan for the oil.
what is your plan?
Well, I mentioned the monsters on the way down to Kalaka, and I mentioned Broke-Tooth. What if I told you I could make it so that you didn't have to worry about any of that?
I would ask you what the catch is.
I like a person who understands transactional relationships.
Mm-hmm.
I pride myself on keeping this community safe and well-fed. That river dried up 2 weeks ago. We haven't had a drop of oil down it since. I think that something has changed upriver. And I think that you, and he points to Ankara and the glowing silver dodecahedron, the glowing silver periapt in your lap. And he says, I think that you have a way to change it back.
Well,
Go
yeah,
up the
poor kids
river.
are not going to starve on my watch. Let's do it.
Go up the river, find out what's changed. Perhaps there will be an opportunity to put that periapt to a better use than the one it has served before and restore the flow so that we may keep living here in peace. Do that for me, and I will give you something that will benefit you in your journeys into the depths. And while you're away, I'll put in some questions with my contacts in House Arabest, see if I can get you a little more information.
Spring
Some
Coil
good
sounds like a good guy.
granola.
Good granola.
Good granola.
Cheeks like a
Good soup.
chipmunk's.
And
Good granola.
You're a liar. That granola is the stalest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's not great.
I have a question for the group just before we head out to do dangerous things. Do you think that because the clock's not resetting, that maybe if we die here, we die in real life sort of situation? I'm a little concerned that, I mean...
Yeah, I would say it's safe to assume that, Ankara. I think if we die here, we die.
Just proceed with caution.
We're outside of the power of Iramon's magic.
Well,
Yeah.
technically, your soul would return to the plane that you're from, and given the dome, we would be like 500 years overdue for a judgment. It'd be real bad.
For what it's worth,
Today.
your souls belong to Saloon.
Oh, yeah.
Ah.
And I think that she might have something to say about that.
Yeah.
Only one way to find out.
Yeah. So tune in next time and we'll find out.
All
Here we
right.
go.
Can't wait to die a terrible death.
You know what's great about this situation is that there is such a specific place for us to go and a thing to do that, like, there's no way next week we come back and decide to do something other, some other kind of thing.
That's
Like,
never
this is what
happened.
we're doing next week.
Nope.
We're going to the place and we're doing the thing.
You have never
Very
been
exciting.
more wrong.
Oh, we
I'm
will
gonna
find a
force
way.
this. I'm
You're
gonna be
just
like,
challenging.
no,
Yeah.
I'm going.
Challenge accepted.
I'll take that thing by myself.
All right. Well, let's go around this screen, find out what everyone's up to today. What's going on with you this week, Britt?
Just hanging out. I'm gonna take Cece to the park. I'm going to a dance party for Halloween this weekend. I'm dressing up as, you know, that Halloween guy, the gif of the man in the black spandex and then
With the pumpkin
Halloween
head?
mask?
Yes.
That's a dance party. That's
That's
for
my costume.
great. That's
Yeah.
good. That's a good one.
This one, I've been practicing. I don't know, just hanging out. Everyone have a good weekend. Have a safe and happy Halloween.
Yeah. Steven, what's going on with you?
Oh, not much. I went to the gym today for the first time in like 3 years, which was very nice.
Go, Steven.
And I hope that my body doesn't hate me for it tomorrow.
I guess that's it. God bless. Bronze,
Mhm.
what are you up to?
Well, right now I'm eating spam and eggs. It's pretty yummy with my dad's healthy hot sauce. This is an apple cider vinegar bottle full of it, and you can see I've put a dent in it. It's that good. One of the projects I was shooting last month is gonna get. You're gonna hear more about it in the next couple days, so I'm excited
Yay!
for that. What else am I working on? A lot of stuff, and I hope it all comes to fruition soon. We're taking our first break with Shakar, so that we can, or our first holiday break. She's turning almost a year old. So now that we're about 30 episodes in, we're doing a series of one-shots where all the players level up to level 5. And then we'll be back in the new year with new overlays, new art, and a change up in the cast as well. So I'm super excited for that. I'm super excited to keep working on that. And that's me right now. That's what I'm doing.
Cool. Eric, what's up, buddy?
Not much, man. I got nothing. It's my birthday.
Great.
It's enjoying rewatching Cowboy Bebop because why not?
Yeah, gotta prep.
Yeah. Doing that.
All right.
So
Okay.
saw the Sand movie. For a
gotta
sequel
watch
to
that.
Spice World, it was
Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, like a weird choice,
yeah.
but
Oh,
you know,
really? Eric, now I want to like throw a sleepover party with a double feature of Spice Girls and the sequel.
Spice World and Dune.
Dune. Yeah, Spice World and Dune.
that needs to be
Besides
one of
that,
those
nothing.
trailers.
But-
That needs to be one of those trailers that they piece the two together.
Hell yeah.
That'd
The
be
spice
amazing.
must flow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Actually, now I'm like, I want someone to
Oh,
write
wait,
some kind of academic essay, like comparing
Oh,
the two
okay.
and showing
He
how
who
they're
controls the
actually
spice
connected.
controls
you
the
know those
universe.
you know those epic movie trailer, like the epic songs, so like they're like extremely minimized except for like a single solo voice, and it's like the thwomp, right? So it's like people of the world, dude, like the Dune trailer.
You gotta get with my friends.
Yeah.
The worm just.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like people of the world.
Got it.
Stop your life. Womp.
The
Like a
spice
worm.
must flow. Yeah. Oh, I can see it. It's all in my head now.
Yeah, it works.
If you want to be my lover. Dun dun dun.
Like in Duncan, Idaho, jumping down from somewhere, punching someone in the face. You gotta get with my friends. And they're like
Oh
running.
my
Oh
God.
yeah, it's all there.
Dune, desert planet. Yeah.
Sounds great to me.
Anyways, what's up with you, Jesse?
Whole bunch of nothing. Another live show tomorrow night here in LA. So if you want to, like, if you got tickets, come on by. We'll see y'all's. And that's it for me. I got trying to do work in between shows.
Doing work?
So yeah, doing work in between work. So that's where I'm at. Anyway, that's it for us. Thanks so much. We'll see y'all next week. Have a good one, everybody. Bye.
At that burger?